Shards of porcelain scattered across the floor, coffee dripping down the wall like blood from a fresh cut. My sister's voice ripped through the silence. "Get out of your own house, you spoiled brat!" She shook with rage, her eyes wide, daring me to strike back. Behind her, my parents just stood there. No scolding, no defense, just quiet approval, as if watching me break was their entertainment. In that moment, something inside me cracked. Quiet, sharp, like glass under too much pressure. It hadn't always been this way. As a kid, I believed them when they said family was everything. I believed my sister when she promised she'd always protect me. I believed love meant safety, but belief dies in pieces. Tiny betrayals, cruel comments brushed aside, patterns repeated until they become normal. Her screaming wasn't the first time, it was just the last straw. I had seen it coming long before. The way my house became our house when they spoke, how my paychecks were suddenly family contributions, how my sister spent freely while I tightened my belt, and how my parents' silence always leaned her way. She was the golden child, their chosen weapon. I didn't fight. I didn't beg. I observed. And I kept records. They thought my laptop was just for work, a glowing screen I vanished into. They didn't know it was also my vault. Bank transfers, property deeds, text messages, recordings, years of negligence, saved and organized. Every bill I paid, every mortgage payment I carried alone, every insult. Dated, time-stamped, undeniable. Evidence doesn't shout, it whispers. But whispered evidence can topple kingdoms. That night, after she smashed my mug, I let them sit in their victory. I went upstairs quietly. But my silence wasn't surrender, it was strategy. Because I knew one thing, paper beats blood. Contracts last longer than screams. And the truth was simple, legal ownership belonged to me. The next morning I called them into the living room. They came annoyed, clearly expecting me to apologize. Instead, I opened my laptop. One click, and the projector lit up the wall. First came the deeds, signed in my name only. Then the bank records. My money funding this roof, these walls, their comforts. Finally, the recordings, my sisters shrieking, my parents' mocking laughter, proof of their betrayal. Their faces drained, pale as ash. My father tried first. "You misunderstood." I cut him off with one page, the clause naming me sole owner, sole signatory. My mother's lips trembled. "We're family." I played back her own words from 6 months earlier. "You should be grateful we let you live here. Your sister deserves more." My sister lunged, wild-eyed, but froze when I showed the eviction notice. Dated, signed, prepared weeks ago. They had treated me like a guest in my own home. Now they were the guests, and their stay was over. I didn't yell. I didn't gloat. I simply shut the laptop and slid the keys across the table. "You have 7 days," I said. The silence that followed was heavier than any scream. 7 days flew by. Suitcases scraped the floor, doors slammed, excuses whispered, bargains begged, tears shed. I accepted none of it, because revenge doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just enforces truth. And the truth was clear. They mistook my silence for weakness. They forgot silence can be a weapon too. The house is quiet now. No broken mugs, no screaming, no eyes waiting to pounce. Just peace. I sit in the same kitchen where shards once cut my feet, sipping from a new mug. The coffee tastes stronger now, not because it changed, but because I did. Do I regret it? Not at all. They wanted me gone from the home I built. Instead, I made them vanish from it. That's the difference between rage and calculation. Rage smashes mugs. Calculation signs deeds. And I chose calculation. When I remember their faces under the projector's light, drained of color, exposed, that was the real victory. Not just their exit, not their silence, but the moment they realized the daughter they dismissed had been documenting everything, every slight, every theft of dignity, and that by the time they noticed, it was already too late. Now this house is truly mine, not just on paper, but in spirit. Every wall hums with freedom. Every room breathes with solitude. And every sip of coffee reminds me, revenge doesn't need to scream. Sometimes it just lets the evidence speak, and their faces turning white, that was enough.